It's time for Myth of the Week.
Alright, so a newly formed myth number 102. And if you guys don't want to watch our video or anything, you can check me out on Spotify under Nat King Code. And I have an audio version of this same Myth of the Week podcast. So this myth number 102, and James always forgets to change the pictures, but this one is basically our pull boxes, not required to be accessible when only used as a pull point. So I did have a picture of like a floor box. So kind of my angle on this is like, let's just say you're gonna put furniture over top of this floor box. You know, how permanent is that furniture part of the building? Like, are you technically removing a piece of the building to access that, or are you just moving a little piece of furniture, you know? So and this actually, we ran into this where they were trying to require us to feed some furniture through these floor boxes, and they're planning on technically building this furniture over top of these floor boxes. Now you can access them, you can pull one of the panels off and get to them, and access them and stuff. So in my opinion, I think it's fine, but there could be, I would say, some inspectors that would say that they're not accessible enough without having to basically take apart pieces of the building, So this one, it was kind of a little bit of a gray area, and I kind of threw it out there to kind of get Stallcup's take on it, to kind of see what his answer is on it. And like, to me, what my opinion is if we're gonna do any kind of work on that furniture, we're gonna have to move it and access it and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really see too much of a real world issue with it, but it's gonna be tricky. It's not easily accessible. So I don't know if easily accessible is really defined. So I'll let you take it from here, James.
Well, I just sort of looked at it from the standpoint in 314.29, because
Right.
what it says is boxes, conduit bodies, and handheld enclosures shall be installed so that the wiring contained in them can be rendered accessible. So you got to have,
Right.
it's got to be accessible so you can get to the wiring. Basically,
Right.
that's the main part. And then when you look at A, it says boxes and conduit bodies shall be installed so that contained wiring can be accessed without removing any part of the building or structure. So I sort of look at it, say I've got a desk here, like where I'm at right now. I've got a floor plug, and if I need to get access to that wiring, I'm going to move the desk.
Right.
All right. So that is what you got to look at. It doesn't say readily accessible.
True.
That's the key. It has to be accessible, and it says without removing any part of the building or structure, which I'm not doing. So if that is the case, and I've got a floor plug down there, a box on the floor, and I can reach down there and I can unscrew it and have access to the wire, I'd consider it okay. It's no different than take like I could say above a suspended ceiling where I got a box, or maybe I have a raised floor for like we used to set up with a big computer systems in there and everything, and they'd ventilate that, and you would have the suction cup. That was accessible. You could get down to it, and that's accessibility to me. You might have to move something to get there, but it's still accessible. So
and I agree with that too. And the kind of my point on this one is with these floor boxes, there would really be no reason that you would need to remove the cover to get access to the wiring. The wiring can be accessed with the cover installed. So that's kind of where it was kind of one of those things, like, do you have to take that cover off? Because the whole thing is that the cover can remain in place, and I could pull the wire through there. You know. So it's just kind of, that's where I kind of saw it as a gray area, because there could be some screws on this box that you might not be able to get to easily. And to me, you just move the furniture a little bit,
Right.
So
That's
I don't see
the
that.
way I look at it. And